Hi church family, I hope you're doing well. Tomorrow will be 7 weeks since we've been in church. When this all started, I really didn't think it was going to go this long, and probably a lot of other people didn't either, but here we are, trying to make the best of things. I've been very fortunate to still have a job, so in many ways my life hasn't changed very much. I work in e-commerce, which is a pretty pandemic-proof career. Not that I considered that when I started working where I do, but yeah, here we are, 7 weeks into this. So I've been spending the time trying to get some projects and hobbies done that don't always happen when you have to go here and there all the time. And one thing I did, of course, was make masks. My mom and I made some masks for our family members, and I even made a mask for my sock monkey here, just for fun. So, yeah, some people were making masks like for hospitals or whatever. I didn't do any of that, but we did make some just for our own family's use. So, at work right now, we have to wear a mask whenever we're outside our own office space. So, yeah, it's been useful to have them. Another project that I kind of had fun with last week was I found some origami paper. I've always liked doing origami. When I was a child, I would go to the library and get books on how to do special origami projects. And now that I found this, I thought, you know what, I bet there's YouTube videos out there that are much easier to follow than books, and sure enough there are. And I just had fun last Sunday evening. I was making different origami projects, and I'll just show them to y'all. I made a dog and a turtle and a cat and a rose. So, just a fun project. I've also been doing a lot of reading. One book that I've been working on, it was a book recommended as Book of the Year for World Magazine in 2016. Imagine you have alphabet soup, and the alphabet soup suddenly spells out complete instructions for a wonderful new invention that no one has ever done before. And if we would see something like that happen, we would assume there's some kind of trick or maybe even some kind of magic behind something like that. None of us would say, oh, that's just physics. And so he's obviously comparing that to saying, well, DNA just kind of originated on its own. He also uses the illustration of, imagine that you would build a sound-seeking, waterproof, solar-powered robot and drop it randomly on the earth somewhere and try to see how long it takes for it to find a football stadium. Well, right now, you wouldn't find any noise at football stadiums, but he uses those kind of illustrations, the alphabet soup and the football stadium seeking robot, to just kind of tell us, the probability that our world just happened by blind chance just isn't feasible. And then he calculates, how much the chances of this stuff happening, and he often winds up with a number that's, of course, longer than this book. And so, yeah, I looked in the index to see if there's anything mentioned about viruses or bats, and sadly there's no mention of viruses or bats in this book. But I have here an egg box with a story behind it. Last Saturday I was volunteering at Blessings of Hope, which is a food bank for food banks. And we were repackaging hard-boiled eggs that came in these containers into smaller amounts so families could use them. And after you're done volunteering at Blessings of Hope, they allow you to buy some of the food that they have donated there for really low prices, because it's food that would otherwise be headed for the landfill. And I got these eggs. I saw these eggs and I thought, they're dated for May 11th, and they're brown eggs and they're in a nice box. And I noticed the other volunteers were going for the white eggs that were on flats. And I thought, oh, that's kind of odd. I mean, what's wrong with these brown eggs? They're in a nice box. And so, and 7.5 dozen, they're dated for May 11th. That sounds good. So I took them home, and when I got home, Dad said, Susan, these are hard-boiled eggs. I'm like, no. Sure enough, here they were, hard-boiled eggs in the shell. And yeah, we had to figure out how to get rid of a lot of hard-boiled eggs. Actually, we gave quite a few away to my brothers. And I also found a recipe online for chocolate chip cookies that use hard-boiled eggs. And that sounds kind of odd, but it actually really worked. You just mashed up the eggs really finely and then made them kind of the normal way, and you don't have to worry about underbaking the cookies because there's no risk of salmonella poisoning. So I made a batch of chocolate chip cookies with hard-boiled eggs in, and aside from the occasional chewy bit that you could pretend were nuts, the cookies were perfect. So if you ever have hard-boiled eggs, you know what to do with them. I think that nature teaches us things about God that we can't really learn almost anywhere else, whether it's nature in the case of microbiology or just enjoying really beautiful blossoming trees. Yesterday I was on a walk and there was pink petals on the ground that were just falling off the trees, and it's just so beautiful. Yeah, so I hope, whatever else is happening in your time, that you're getting time to enjoy nature and creation with your family, and help us to remember that God has designed all things and He's in control. And yeah, just hope you have a great week. Take care. Hope to see you soon.